Hi, my name is Anna, and I'll be your facilitator today for virtual college exploration for all New Jersey students. You'll have an opportunity to sign up for more sessions at www.njacac.org/virtual fair. Also at this website, you'll be able to see recordings of today's presentation as well as any that you may have missed. For today's presentation, all of your videos have been turned off, and so you're also muted. But you'll be able to still communicate with our presenters by doing a Q&A towards the bottom of your screen. And at the end of the presentation, they'll be able to answer your questions. So with no further ado, I'll turn it over to our presenters.
Awesome, thank you. So let me just get the presentation pulled up here. Sorry, I feel so like Zoom illiterate, and I feel like I should be like a pro at this by now, but it's always.
That's okay.
All right, so welcome everyone. My name is Amanda. I am one of the assistant directors of admission here at Rowan. I am a proud Rowan alum. I live right in Glassboro, so I pretty much eat, sleep, breathe Rowan. With me today is my awesome colleague, Sharissa. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sharissa Burgos. I am an assistant director of admissions. I've been with Rowan now in this capacity for 8 years, but also a very proud Rowan alum of the College of Business, and then went back and did my master's in education at Rowan. So just like Amanda, I eat, sleep, and breathe Rowan too. So I'm really excited to chat with you guys today. And you know, like our facilitator said, feel free to ask questions. Amanda will go through the presentation and we'll start answering those. You might find your answers through the presentation. But if you have even student life questions, feel free to ask us because we were students too. So we'd love to answer those.
Awesome, thank you. So just a little bit about our campus location. We are about 20 minutes from Philly, about an hour from the nearest shoreline, which I think technically is Atlantic City. Don't recommend those beaches, but that's the closest if you were wondering. About 2 hours from New York City and about 2.5 hours from Washington, D.C. So I think we have a really great campus location. And there's two main reasons why I think that. One being you come to school for an education, which will hopefully lead into a job. So being so close to a major city like Philly gives our students that opportunity to go in and out of the city very easily. If you're not from the immediate area, you know, Philly is not like New York City. It's a very accessible city. You can easily drive in and out of. So if you are a junior or a senior looking for an internship and you have your car on campus, you can easily get in and out of the city without a problem. Like I said, I'm a proud Rowan alum. I didn't get an internship in Philly because I'm not really a city girl, but a few of my friends did, and they found it to be a very easy commute. They found it to be very beneficial, which in turn led to their full-time jobs. So they're loving what they're doing. So it worked out really well for them. The second reason why I think our location is pretty cool is just in terms of things to do, right? Our school's in a very suburban area. So if you wanted to get out and explore the surrounding area, like Philly, we do have that free shuttle that will take you in and out every Friday night. So if you wanted to go see a show, grab some dinner, walk around, we will drop you off and pick you up for free, which is really awesome. So we do have a few different campus locations. When you think of Rowan, you're going to predominantly think of our main campus in Glassboro. This is our residential campus. This is where 99.999% of your courses will be. And again, this is pretty much when you think of Rowan, what you're going to think of. If you're looking for a more urban campus, we do have our Camden location. It is right across the street from Rutgers Camden. We share a bookstore with Camden County College. So it's in a really cool spot. Like that shuttle bus in and out of Philly, we do have a shuttle that will take you from the main campus to the Camden campus. So if you're living at the main campus and you're like, Amanda, I kind of want to take a class or two at Camden, can I do that? You most certainly can. We will drop you off again and pick you up for free. It's also a great location for commuter students. So if you live in Camden County, or if that location is easier for you to get to as a commuter student, you know, definitely consider that. There are about 7 full degree programs you can get at that location, but you can certainly take a class or two there as well. And then we have West Campus in Mullica Hill, New Jersey. So that photo right there of that building houses about 20 different businesses. Those businesses are either conducting research, they may be a startup facility. So there's a lot of cool things going on there. It's kind of like a behind every door is something different. So we have a virtual reality lab down there, which is awesome. I had a chance to go check it out last year. It's floor to ceiling screens and it's all around you. So you're really immersed in that, which is kind of cool. I've never experienced anything like that. We have 3D print labs down there, and we also have it's like a tent almost outside, but it looks like massive. And our chemical engineers are doing research on different types of asphalt. So that's something awesome, I think, going on down there, because the state of New Jersey will be using that research to improve the roadways, which is awesome. We also have our practice fields down there, and Inspira Hospital just built a brand new state-of-the-art hospital. I ventured to it over the summer because I broke my foot. So having an emergency room, less than a mile from campus is awesome. So it's not Rowan affiliated, but it is built on our land, which is kind of cool. And speaking of hospitals, we have 2 different medical schools. So we have Cooper Medical School of Rowan University in Camden. That's right near our Camden location, so it's in a really awesome spot again. Then we have Rowan University School of Osteopathic Medicine. We call it Rowan SOM for short. One is your traditional MD, one is your DO program. So we do offer a 7-year medical program through Rowan. I will be flat out honest, it is very competitive. So if you are interested in that 7-year med program, we do require SAT scores for consideration. And we in admissions, so Sharice and I, we won't be reviewing the applications for that 7-year program. If you express interest in that, it gets sent over to the medical schools, and they will in turn kind of decide who they want to interview and who they want to give that seat to. So we do have that as an option. And we also have a really robust pre-health profession concentration. So if you still want to pursue medicine, you can, add on that concentration to any degree program here at Rowan. So if you want to pursue art and pre-med, you certainly can. If you want to do psychology and pre-med, you can. So it gives you that flexibility and that support to kind of, hone in on different areas that you like. Some campus highlights, we have the Rick and Jean Edelman Planetarium. So I think we're the only site in South Jersey to have a planetarium, so that's kind of cool. Pre-COVID, we would bring in a lot of community members, a lot of high schools, elementary schools to see shows. These shows are open to students as well, so if you want to go see a planetarium show, you can. They do laser light shows, which is awesome. They pair laser lights to music. So it's just a really cool feature on campus. And then we have the Jean and Rick Edelman Fossil Park. So we do have a fossil park on our campus. I don't know too many schools that can say they have a fossil park on their campus, but there's a photo right there. We do offer open dig days. So if you are interested in coming on campus to get your hands dirty, dig for fossils, dinosaur bones, whatever you find, you get to keep, which is really awesome. This location, about 2 years ago, we received a very generous donation from Jean and Rick Edelman, about $25 million, Teresa? Around there, yeah, $25 million towards that location. We're going to be building a museum with research labs in it. I think we're even going to put like a little cafe in it from what I hear, so you can overlook the quarry. So it's a really cool site, a really cool developing site too.
And I just want to laugh for a second because Amanda always laughs at me when we're presenting. She's like, Teresa calls them prop sweethearts.
Oh, yeah.
But we've termed that, we've coined that at Rowan. Like if you meet someone at Rowan, you get married, you're a prop sweetheart. So that's just something you'll hear through alumni and such. Just had to throw that out there.
Yeah, so Jean and Rick, they're Rowan alumni. They met here on campus, got married, and they really see the potential in our students and the potential at Rowan. So they do give a lot back to the Rowan community, which I'm sure you can see even on this slide, the Rick Edelman College of Communication and Creative Arts. So they have their hands in a few different areas here on campus. With that being said, we have about 80 different academic programs. So there's something here for everybody. I'm not going to go over every single program because we'll be here till Friday, and we definitely don't have that much time to go over everything. But I will really highlight our virtual resource page of our admissions website. So Teresa has done a really great job at managing that platform. So in lieu of open houses this fall, because we can't unfortunately accommodate something like that, we created this schedule where just about every college listed here is going to present on their majors and their programs. So if you're looking to get really specific information from the departments themselves, from the faculty themselves, from the people doing research, I definitely encourage you to check that out. And maybe Teresa can drop the link in the chat so you guys can check out that virtual resource page. But there is always one program I do like to touch upon, and that's our exploratory studies program. So as a high school sophomore, junior, senior, maybe even a freshman, you're probably sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, Amanda, I have no idea what I want to study. There's so many options. I don't know what I want to do in 30 years, and that's okay. We don't expect you to know what you want to do right now or what you want to study right now. And our exploratory studies program gives you that flexibility to not only kind of meet with an advisor and talk out, what your options are, but it gives you the flexibility to take courses in different subject areas. So if you meet with your advisor and say, hey, I'm interested in advertising and marketing, I don't really know the main difference between the two, but I kind of want the opportunity to take classes in each area before I make my decision. This program allows you to do so. You have until the end of your first semester sophomore year to kind of decide what your major is. So that's a full year and a half into college. So you have plenty of time, you take plenty of courses. It doesn't affect financial aid, merit money, that theoretical 4-year timeline. So definitely consider that program if you are on the fence or maybe just unsure. So we have a few different admission pathways here at Rowan. So we do offer a degree in 3 program. There are about 7 different academic programs that you can complete in 3 years. Essentially how it works is you will take a very heavy course load your fall semester, about 18 credits, a very heavy course load your spring semester, again, about 18 credits, and then you are taking classes over the summer. So you're going year round. This program is not designed for every student. It's a very rigorous, you have to be a diligent student for this program. In turn, because you're going year round, you are saving that 1 year. So you are saving about $25,000 by doing this program. Again, there's about 7 academic programs, so not every academic program is going to allow you that flexibility. Then we have Rowan Choice, which allows students to live at Rowan. They can have a meal plan, they can live in our dorms, have a roommate, get involved in clubs and activities. However, your courses are going to be held at our local community college, which is Rowan College of South Jersey. Like our Camden location, like getting in and out of Philly, we do offer a shuttle bus that will take you to that location and back. It's about a 10-minute drive. So again, that is an option for students if they are looking for something like that. We also have Ascend, which houses our EOF and RISE program. So EOF is the Educational Opportunity Fund. Not every student is going to necessarily qualify for EOF because we do look at your family size, family income, where you live, what high school you go to. So a lot of different factors that play into your eligibility for EOF. If you are EOF eligible, there is a scholarship that comes along with that program. And there's additional academic support. So every student at Rowan is going to get an academic advisor to kind of coach you along, make sure you're staying on track. With Ascend, you're going to get an added layer of support and that scholarship. Rowan at Home, so this is a new program developed in lieu of the craziness that's going on. So there are 15 full degree programs you can get from the comfort of wherever you call home. So if you're like, Amanda, I'm really thriving online, this is totally my calling, you can certainly stay online and get a Rowan degree. You do save money by doing this because you're not living on campus, although you can if you want to. Most students, choose to stay at home. So again, you're saving with room and board by doing that. We also have an honors college, which is a really unique experience. So when you think of Rowan or a college or university, you're thinking that you're going to learn in the classroom. Our honors college takes it one step further and really gives students that opportunity to learn outside of the classroom, whether it's through volunteer work, different types of research. So it's really there to enhance your academic experience. Not every student is going to be eligible for the honors program. So as an incoming freshman, this is a requirement in that yellow box. So you do need to have a 3.9 GPA unweighted or higher to get an invitation for the honors college. If you're like, Amanda, I don't have that, but I really want to be involved in this program, there is still an opportunity for you to get involved in honors once, I think after your first year or first semester, Teresa. Do you know offhand? Oh, you're muted.
You can apply after the first semester in the
First
spring.
semester. Yep, so I think you need to have a 3.33 GPA, right?
I don't know if it's going to be for transfer now that they are, or not, that spring semester.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that's going to be because it's new.
Yeah, so we don't have the exact GPA for a current student, but again, there is still that opportunity to get involved if you didn't meet the criteria right off the bat. So just a snapshot of our enrollment profile. So we have just under 20,000 students across our undergrad, grad, professional, and medical school students. We have about 16,000 undergraduate students, and we're kind of at that size where we're not too big, where you're going to get lost in a crowd or lost in a lecture hall because we don't have them. But we're not too small where you're going to know every single person on campus and you're going to know their entire backstory and they're going to know about you and everything about you. So we're kind of that nice in between. Average class size of about 20, and we kept every class at 30. So even though we have 16,000 students on campus, the fact we can keep those classes super small is something I'm really proud of and something I looked for in a college. I knew I didn't want a small school, but I knew I wanted to feel like I was in a small school in the classroom. We have a student to faculty ratio of 17:1. Again, that's an amazing ratio. Freshman retention rate of 86%. That is above the national average, so we are keeping our freshmen engaged, we're keeping them involved, and we're really encouraging them to be their best self. And I think that's really why they keep coming back for sophomore year, so that number is amazing. We go to about 36 different countries for study abroad. We have an entire office dedicated to study abroad. So if that is something you're interested in pursuing while you're at college or at Rowan, you can always make an appointment with them once you become a Rowan prof. You can sit down with somebody and go over where you want to go, how much you can afford, how long you want to study for. So that is available to you if you're interested. So the freshman application, we are on Common App. So after today, if you're like, oh my gosh, I really want to apply to Rowan, how do I do it? You go right on Common App, you add us to your Common App, and then there are a few Rowan specific questions you're going to answer. It's nothing crazy, it's just like picking your major and things like that. In addition to your Common App, we do require a high school transcript, and we are test optional. We've always been test optional, however, there have always been barriers for students, and those barriers included a certain GPA requirement you needed. There were restrictive majors that you couldn't apply test optional, like engineering and business. However, again, with the craziness and COVID going on, SAT and ACT tests were canceled. So we can't fault you as a student for not taking the test when you didn't have an opportunity to. So we completely removed those barriers. So if you want to apply test optional for engineering, you can. If you don't have that 3.5 GPA, you still can apply test optional. So we have that, available to you. If you took any test and you're like, I really want to submit them, I did so good on them, I want you to see my hard work, you can still send them over to us. We will use them for admission purposes, but we will not be using them for merit scholarship considerations. So just keep that in mind when you are submitting scores. They will not be factored into merit. We need 2 letters of recommendation. And if you're interested in a fine or performing art, you may have to submit an audition or a portfolio depending on which program you're interested in. So if you apply before January 31st, you'll be automatically considered for that merit scholarship. There's nothing you need to do in addition for that, as long as you apply before January 31st. We'll review you simultaneously for admission and for merit, so it kind of happens at the same time. When you get your decision letter, you'll know right then and there if you were awarded a merit scholarship, so you'll have a really nice picture painted of what Rowan can offer you pretty early on in the process. May 1 is that fall enrollment deadline, so that's when you need to let us know, I'm going to be a Rowan prof, I'm so excited. And it's not listed here, but typically March 1st is that application deadline. So you would just need to submit your application by March 1st to be considered for fall 2021 admission. So it's just a really nice snapshot of our average freshman applicant profile. So this is what a typical, or I should say average, Rowan student looks like. So if you are a junior in the room or a sophomore, these numbers are going to look different next year because, again, the test optional thing and not having a lot of SAT scores or ACT scores. So this will change, but this just will give you a nice snapshot of what that Rowan student looks like. If there's any transfers in the room, welcome. I don't know if there are or there aren't, but if you're thinking about going the community college route first, that's something, that you can consider. That's actually the path I did. I went to community college for my first 2 years, and then I transferred to Rowan for my junior and my senior year. So it's a free application. It's different from Common App, so there's no essay, no fee. Pretty simple. If you have more than 24 college credits, we do not need anything from high school. Anything less than 24 college credits, we will need your high school transcript. So just kind of keep that in mind. You kind of want to keep track of how many credits you've earned. Usually I get the question, hey, I'm a high school student, I'm taking a dual enrollment class, I have 24 college credits, how do I apply? You would still apply as a freshman, and then once you complete all of your courses and get that final grade for your class, you can just have your transcript sent over to our registrar, and our registrar will then evaluate your transcripts and plug in those credits into your program of study. So it's pretty simple to do. You just need to go directly to whoever holds your credit.
I also wanted to chime in here, kind of along the same lines. We get asked a lot about AP credits. If you are in an AP course and you're going to take the AP test, once you complete your course and take that test, you'll have College Board send over your AP test scores to us so that you can receive credit and they can be evaluated. So just note, don't forget to send those in.
Yeah, and if you're curious to see like what that test requirement is to get AP credits, if you go into our website and in the search bar, just type in AP credit evaluation, you'll be able to see the spreadsheet of, okay, I took this class in high school, scored this on the exam, does Rowan accept it, what score do they need, and it breaks it down really nicely for you. So we do offer transfer scholarships. This is something I'm really proud of because when I was a transfer student and going through the admission process, you know, there weren't many opportunities for transfer students to get a scholarship. So we do offer our transfer students that opportunity. Very similar to how freshmen are evaluated. It's pretty much the same process for transfer. When you apply as a transfer student, you're also going to get simultaneously reviewed for a merit scholarship. So nothing you need to do in addition for that. Everyone's favorite slide, the money. So currently our tuition is $14,000 for this academic year. I do want to highlight that we did have a 10% reduction in our tuition this past spring, you know, to help our students who are affected by COVID. So that's not reflected here, but I always just like to point out that that did happen. You know, total around in-state costs is just under 27. If you're a senior in the room and you're like, but what's the number going to be like when I'm a student there? The 2021-2022 tuition and fees should be announced in December. So if you want to get a better picture of what Rowan's going to cost you, that number will become available in December. My seniors in the room, I hope you are starting your FAFSA, or maybe you've completed your FAFSA. That opened up on October 1st. So this is pretty much how you are going to get financial aid. So in terms of loans, grants, or scholarships, those are the different types of financial aid you can get. Loans, you pay back with interest. Grants and scholarships, you don't pay back. So those are the kind of things you really want to strive for. I always encourage students to apply for the FAFSA early on. The longer you wait, you know, the state is going to be distributing money, the government's going to be distributing money, so you want to have the best possible opportunity to get the best possible package. Juniors in the room, it opens up October 1st, so that date's really not going to change. We're going to need your tax information from 2 years ago. So if you want to start sitting down with your parents, seniors, or your guardian, and just try and gather up that information so that when you do sit down to do the FAFSA, you're not like scrambling to find all these documents. That's not a bad idea. And I will say the FAFSA is very invasive. So if you feel like they're asking you really personal questions about like your whole financial health, that's normal. It's totally normal. We do have an amazing financial aid staff on hand, so if you have any questions about it, you can always reach out to them. So we also offer foundation scholarships. These are typically slated for current students. However, there are some foundation scholarships that are available for incoming freshmen. It's always just nice to know that there are opportunities beyond coming in as a freshman to get a scholarship. So I always just like to make note of that. And then we're also on Raise Me. So if you're not familiar with Raise Me, juniors, sophomores, freshmen in the room, definitely check it out. The website is raise.me. You essentially create a free profile and you'll say, my name is Amanda. I go to Rowan High School. I run track. I'm taking 2 AP classes. I got an A in my college prep class. I'm a Girl Scout and I have 100 volunteer hours. you'll add Rowan to your profile, and we'll let you know how much money you can earn by doing the things you've already done or the things you're already doing. So for example, I think, when we were able to offer visits, we would give, I think, $200 for visiting our campus. We give $3 for every volunteer hour. So they are smaller scholarships, but if you're really involved, they can add up pretty quickly. When it comes to merit and Raise Me, you can't stack the two. It's either one or the other. So if you're getting 10,000 in merit and 8,000 in Raise Me, we're going to give you the most amount of money, so that would be the merit. And vice versa. If you're getting more from Raise Me, we'll obviously give you the most amount of money. So student and campus life, there is always something going on campus. Even in our virtual world right now, there is still always something going on, always ways to get involved. We have a free food truck festival every fall, which is really great. It's free, so why not go grab like a cheesesteak or, crab fries. If you're in South Jersey, you know what that is. Homecoming is really popular. This is actually homecoming week right now. It is in a virtual format, but you could definitely still feel the school spirit and the school pride, even in a virtual platform, which is really great. Borough and lights, we deck out Rowan Boulevard in holiday lights. We have a tree lighting, there's a menorah lighting. So it's just a really nice celebration of the holidays. What else do we have on this list? Holly Bash, that's also a really great one. We bring in performers every spring. We set up a carnival, so you can go on a Ferris wheel. There's carnival food, so it's just it's a great time. And a lot of these activities are free or at like a minimum cost, like $5. So why not get involved? And I don't know if Teresa, you want to add anything to that? I see you shaking your head.
No, I just agree with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the most expensive trip that they offer is for like a Broadway show, which, if anybody's ever been to a Broadway show, they can be pretty pricey. So to be able to get tickets between $40 and $50 for not only your transportation to the Broadway show in New York, but the tickets is incredible. So like Amanda said, most things are free, but there are some things that, a few dollars here and there.
Yeah. So we do offer 31 different Greek life chapters. If you are interested in Greek life, we do have a robust Greek life program, 13 plus dining options. You are not going to go hungry here at Rowan. We have 2 cafeterias, one in the freshman dorm. So if you get that freshman facility, you can go downstairs in your pajamas and slippers, grab a cup of coffee, go back up to your room. So it's really cool if you live in that facility. Just about every academic building has some sort of eatery or grab and go spot. So again, you're not going to go hungry. This number also does not include all of the eateries on Rowan Boulevard, which I think is the next 2 slides or something. So I'll get into all of that at that point. But yeah, there's a lot of cool spots on campus. We actually had I don't know if we still do, but a food truck that goes around. It's a mobile diner. So that was really cool. Again, I like food, so it's always something that's like I'm always thinking about.
When it comes to our dining options, I often run into students who, have particular dietary needs. And that's one thing I kind of wanted to mention is that we do have a dietitian on our campus. So if you're really curious to know if Rowan has something that is going to fit, your diet plan, whether you're vegan or lactose intolerant, I don't know, anything that may be out there, you can always work with them. And one, they'll be sure to point you in the right direction, but also make sure that there is something available for you at all times.
Yeah, and everything's labeled too, and they do a really good job of labeling food, especially in the cafeteria that's more like a buffet and grab and go style. They list all the ingredients, so you can make really conscious decisions if you have certain restrictions. And then we have 150 clubs and organizations, so there is something here for you. And if there's not, you can make your own club. Getting involved wherever you decide to go to school is really going to make or break your experience. As a student, you have a choice to go to class, go back to your dorm, put your sweats on, curl up in bed and watch Netflix, which is okay every now and then. But that's not how you're going to meet people outside of your classes, outside of your hall, outside of your room. So definitely take the opportunity to, break out and just like try something new. I mean, I remember when I was in high school and even when I was at community college, I was super shy. The thought of public speaking, and if I knew like then what I know now and like what job I would have, I would be like, no way. I was super shy. I didn't like talking to people. I didn't have a lot of friends. And it wasn't until I came to Rowan and just used this as an opportunity to almost reinvent myself and just kind of break out of my little shell there. I got involved in clubs that I never thought I would get involved in. And I met people that I never would have met had I not gotten involved. So definitely consider it. Again, you have choices, so why not make a good choice?
Agreed.
So we have 8 men's and 10 women's NCAA Division III sports. I cannot hit a ball, kick a ball, throw a ball, and yet I am the athletic liaison. So if you are interested in getting recruited or working with a coach, you'll be working directly with me. If you are looking to get recruited, there is a recruit form on our athletic page, and that goes directly to our coaches. So that will be your first step in getting recruited if that's something you're interested in. For people like me, there are 80 intramural and club sports. So that's a lot. Not a lot of schools have that many options. And I think, Sharisa, you know, like a bunch of intramural, right? It's like Quidditch, volleyball, Battleship.
Ballroom dancing. Yeah, Battleship is during homecoming.
Yeah.
Flag football, golfing, skiing. So a lot of different things. And something else I kind of wanted to mention just to kind of speak to the spirit of the school is we even offer like employee games, like employee softball leagues. But it is always so popular. And I think that speaks to the spirit of our employees too on campus. You'll see how involved and like, you know, part of the fabric of the university. So you'll get that through every staff member that you meet on campus. It just feels like home, you know?
Yeah, Rowan Admissions is going to be taking the lead next year for softball. Mark my words. Even though I can't, you know, hit a ball, I'm still confident.
I actually turned out to be like the underdog player. It was great.
Yeah.
I surprised a lot of people.
So yeah, there's definitely something, again, to keep you involved. Intramural sports are very casual. It's just a bunch of Rowan students getting together to play a game. Club sports, you still travel, so you will compete against Stockton, Rutgers, Camden. You will still practice, but it's not going to be at the level and at the commitment level of an NCAA sport.
So I just saw a question here about lacrosse, and we have a few questions, Amanda, so let's make time to answer those. If lacrosse is a club sport or a D3, it is part of our division sports. We do also offer it as a club sport as well.
Yeah, my former roommate, she was a lacrosse player and she played Division III, and then she realized it's a big time commitment. It didn't really fit her goals. So then she just played on a club team. So she was still active, still played, but it fit into her schedule a little bit better.
Yeah.
Rowan Boulevard, I talked about this a little earlier, but the Boulevard is your quintessential Main Street. So when you think of Rowan Boulevard, I want you to think of you as a student. So everything down here was built with you in mind. So we have a cookie shop that's open till 3 a.m. and they deliver. So if you're craving a cookie, you can get that delivered right to your dorm, which is awesome. There's a 7-Eleven, a Pizza Hut, a Domino's, a Pliable, a Chicky and Pete's. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but it's a really, what is it? It was in Philly. Was it built in Philly or?
I believe so.
Started in Philly. They have crab fries, which if you haven't had them, I highly recommend. There's a nice pizzeria. There's a brunch spot, Starbucks, Barnes & Noble. Again, anything you could want as a student is down there. There's a park, so there's gyms.
There's a nail salon, a hair salon for my ladies out there.
Tanning salon for people like me who clearly need it. Feeling a little pasty right now. So it's just a really cool spot, whether you're just grabbing a cup of coffee, doing some shopping, if your parents are in town, that's a great spot to take them to. What's really cool is above all the shops is housing. So one side of the street is on-campus housing and the other side is off-campus. So you're really getting a nice integration of not only Rowan University students, but community as well. The whole point in the Boulevard was to really bridge the community with the school together. So it's a really cool spot. And like I said, I live less than a mile from campus. I'm probably down at the Boulevard twice a week, maybe more than that. Teresa and I just grabbed lunch there on Tuesday. So it's a really cool spot. It's my favorite. So formally, that is all we have. If you leave today and you're like, oh, I should have asked them about, what the cafeteria has to offer. If you send us an email at admissions@rowan.edu, that will go directly to your admission counselor. So I recruit up in Northwest New Jersey. So if you reside in that area. I will be your admission counselor. Sharissa typically does South Jersey and some out of state. So if you live in those areas, you will be her student, but they'll go directly to your counselor. It's not a bad idea just to introduce yourself and say, hey, I'm Amanda. I'm so excited about Rowan. Can't wait to fill out the application. Hope you're having a great day. We love getting emails like that, so just always think about that. And then below there is all of the networks or social networks we are on. So if you're not following us, definitely check us out. I would say we're pretty active on Instagram, and that's my favorite, only because every Monday on the stories, we post what's happening for the week. And it's kind of cool to see how we're keeping students engaged and involved in an online atmosphere. So they always post like cool things that are happening, club meetings. So if you want to get involved, that's a great way to follow us. And I guess open up to questions.
Yeah, so we have some questions here. So the first question is, what is the profile for the 7-year BSMD program? In addition to, if they are declined, are they declined from the whole school, or are they considered for the pre-med program? So I guess I'll answer. So I think Amanda mentioned it is a very competitive program for the accelerated track. Profile wise, you're looking to have a 4.0 unweighted for sure. And then SAT, you do, while we are SAT optional, I think Amanda mentioned this as well, you'll need your SATs for the application for the accelerated track. I would say nothing below a 1350 for that. But again, we get over 200 applications for 4 to 5 spots. So, you know, each year just gets continually competitive. So, however, if you're not accepted into that program, you'll still be accepted into Rowan University, into the major that you chose. So any of those majors that are, you know, you're able to apply into the accelerated track are great majors for pre-med. So you're more than welcome to stay within that major, or if there's something else that is of interest to you, you can always reach out to us and we can switch that for you, or you can do that during your freshman first semester.
Yeah, and I also want to add too, when you're completing the Common App, the 7-year med program question is only going to populate if you indicate specific majors. So if that is something you're interested in, cellular and molecular biology is one of them, biomedical engineering, biochem, I think there's one more.
Biochem and why am I?
Drawing a blank.
Yeah.
If you're interested in learning more about that, send us an email at admissions at rowan.edu. We can get you those exact majors, but it's not going to populate for every major. So if you indicate psychology on your application, you're not going to get that question.
Yeah. So I have a question for you, Amanda. Can the program degree in 3 be applied for transfer students with an associate's degree?
I don't think so. I would have to look into that. I think we do take transfers up to a certain amount of credits. So it really is going to boil down to how many credits you have. So I can do some research. If you want to send me an email at admissions@rowan.edu, I can find out for you.
Yeah. So does Rowan have an orchestra, and is it also for non-music majors? So yes, we do have 2 orchestras. We have the string orchestra, and I believe, I think it's a symphony orchestra, and maybe one more. However, they are both open to all majors. So if you're talented and you want to be involved, you are more than welcome to be part of the orchestras at Rowan. We have another question. Can I transfer from a community college outside of New Jersey? And will the transfer trustee be applied for out-of-state transfer students?
Yeah, so you can certainly be eligible for scholarships. We actually have a scholarship designed for out-of-state students called Brown and Gold. So this scholarship really bridges the gap between out-of-state and in-state tuition to bring that out-of-state tuition a little closer to what in-state students pay for. And what's the first part of the question, Teresa? I think I completely missed that.
Can they transfer from an out-of-state college? Yeah.
Yep, you certainly can.
We have New Jersey is super transfer friendly. That is one thing I will say about New Jersey, super transfer friendly across the board. So yep, we accept them.
Yep.
And I did get another question for the 3+4 med program. If you have questions about the 3+4 med program, I literally have a whole page for you to read. So if you want to email admissions@rowan.edu and just say, hey, I was in the admission session, I want to know about the 3+4 program, it'll get sent to me and I'll send you the information that you need. Sorry, we're talking a little fast. We're going to get through these questions before our next 5 minutes. Do out-of-state students have any restrictions on anything? and scholarships. So there's no restrictions that I can think of.
No.
Not that I can think of, but yes, we do have scholarships, like Amanda said. The Brown and Gold Scholarship is specifically for out-of-state students. So you'll automatically be considered for that. If you apply before January 31st, you'll automatically be considered for both merit and the Brown and Gold if you're not a state student. Next question, we answered the lacrosse club, we got that. Do we have a marching and a pep band?
So we have a pep band, but we don't have a marching band, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Do we have to submit the application before January 31st to be considered for merit scholarships?
Yes, so if you submit your application before January 31st, you'll be automatically considered. If you submit it after January 31st and before March 1st, you'll just be considered for admission only.
Got another BSMD program. Does the second application have to be completed by December 1st as well? So no, just your initial application. It's going to go through that first stage. If you are selected to go into that second stage of the BSMD accelerated track, you'll be sent, that additional paperwork and application you'll need to do, and they'll let you know when that next due date is. How is your computer science program at Rowan?
Yeah, so we have a really great computer science program. There's a lot of different concentrations within that major. So if you're interested in game design, we have a cool concentration for that. If you're interested in cybersecurity, we have a concentration for that. So it's a pretty flexible, I guess is the word I'm looking for, major. One of my good friends went for that, and he's actually working for a company where he splits his time between Japan and the US. So he spent 6 months in Japan to be a computer scientist, and then the other 6 months in the States. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I do. And also the computer science program has the optional accelerated. So if you want to go into the 4+1 and get your master's in that extra year, that's another incredible part of the computer science program. We have a student who is currently a New Jersey high school student, but they came to America in their sophomore year. So would they need to submit an English proficiency test? I want to say no.
I don't think so.
From an English dominant like high school in America, you're going to be fine. There are even some countries, students who apply internationally, but English is the first language, so they wouldn't have to submit an English proficiency test. So no, long story short, you would not have to. So let me see. Are there any dance related clubs?
Yeah, so there are a bunch of different dance clubs. There's ballroom dancing. They have a dance team here at Rowan. And there's also like a bunch of, I don't know if Teresa, you know any specifically, but
3D.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't
yeah.
know if you need to have like a specific skill level. I know ballroom dancing you don't, only because I was in the club when I was a student. I took ballroom dancing as a class, which then, led into getting involved in the club. So you don't need to have really any experience for these. So kind of keep your mind open to new opportunities.
Awesome. So we have like 2 more minutes. I'm going to apply.
Yep.
Is there a different application process or different requirements for the honors program?
Yeah, so if you meet that minimum requirement of a 3.9, you'll be invited to apply to their program. So there's nothing you need to do in addition other than just kind of wait for that email.
And then when they send you an application, it'll be due February 21st, 2021. So you'll just have to do that. Someone said I got a 400 from English and an 800 on the math section from the SAT. Should they submit that?
We see your scores, so you can send us whatever you have and we'll take the highest of whatever section. You don't have to send in your scores if you don't want to. But if you do want to, definitely encourage you to do so.
Do we have a deadline for early action acceptance?
So we don't have any early action or early decision. We are regular decision and we're rolling. So no, we don't have early action or early decision.
Do transfer students who are applying in the spring have the same scholarships?
I don't know. Do you know if they do?
So I don't think the transfer trustee scholarship, but I think you'll be eligible for the Brown and Gold. Pretty sure. But we can double check. We're going to get like a roll of these questions so we can always go back and circle back to this one. What out of class opportunities are there for sound engineering majors? We may be talking about our music industry program. And so that when I get asked these specific questions about majors, I always encourage students to come to our academic sessions virtually. There is a music session where they'll be talking about all of the majors that are housed under there. And I say that because opportunities as far as jobs and internships are going to change yearly. You know, our school and our staff are always ear to the ground, making sure that we are staying on top of opportunities for our students. So just to kind of get an update of what the students are doing, it's always best to, you know, reach out to them directly. Okay, looks like we're getting,
So,
our party's over.
yeah.
You ladies were great, and I want to thank you, Amanda and Sharissa, for giving us such informative information about Rowan University. Thank you, students and family, for participating. As we mentioned, there will be a recording of this webinar for you, as well as our presenters are going to receive your questions. Just some housekeeping things is, if you can, there is going to be a survey at the very end, only 4 questions, but we do ask that you fill it out so you give us some feedback on how we did today. We encourage you to sign up for some more sessions later this week at www.njacac.org/virtual fair, and that's where you'll also be able to find the recordings for today, as well as other sessions that you have missed. Thank you so much and have a great evening.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.